Hey guys, Brian Hilliard here, author of the best-selling book, Networking Like a Pro, and creator of the popular program, How to Find and Win More Paid and Free Speaking Engagements. Now, as you can see, I am taking a little WALK. Actually traveling today. I am up in the Swansboro area, North Carolina, and you can see I'm here in a nice little neighborhood. I'll just kind of pan around here for you so you can see that. It's a nice little area. I'm on my morning walk, which is a part of my morning routine. Whole separate conversation, but if you don't have a morning routine, highly recommend it. Anyway, I wanted to talk with you real quick about a quick tip for being more successful as a speaker, because this is something, I actually was thinking about this morning. This is something where there are some certain things that I do that, help me be more successful. And as a speaker, this doesn't mean, I get paid to speak, which is fine. I do some free stuff, which is also fine. You might not be getting paid, or maybe you are. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But this is one of those things where if you're a speaker, whether it is physical or virtual, you'll definitely want to pay attention, because especially if you are speaking for free and you are looking to try to monetize that into more paying clients, and you want to do that without being pushy or salesy, this is a great one. All right, so one of the things, and we'll talk about it here right now, is the quick tip is to spend time in Q&A. That's point number one. And make sure your Q&A is in kind of like 2/3 of the way of your presentation. So let's talk about that. Let's do the second one first, okay? As a lot of you guys know, if you've come to our mastermind, we've got our Speak to Earn mastermind, by the way, which you're more than welcome to come as my guest. We do that on the second Wednesday of each month. You can just drop me a line. But as you guys have known, if you've come to that mastermind or even heard me speak, I'm a big proponent of the Q&A in the middle of the presentation. So a lot of times what happens is people, if they're doing a free one, they'll do Q&A at the end, right? And that's fine, but the problem is that you kind of lose control of the situation, and it's hard from a Q&A standpoint to transition into an offer. Like, it's just hard to do that, and that's one of the reasons why people are less successful in terms of monetizing and generating more paying clients. So what I recommend is you have your offer and your last point at the end, okay? But before that, the penultimate element, how about that? What I recommend is you do Q&A during that point, okay? You just open it up and have some Q&A. Now, with that being said, now what you have is a situation where people are asking you questions and doing those things. Okay, so that's point number one, the penultimate element, second from the last. Okay, point number two, and this is where we're gonna hang out, is you wanna make sure that you hang out during that Q&A. A lot of times I see presenters and speakers give that Q&A short thrift for, I don't know, probably a few reasons, maybe all of them good. They're running out of time. They want to get to their offer. I don't know. People aren't asking as many questions as they'd like. Like, they give it short thrift for a variety of reasons. I recommend that you do not do that. I recommend that you really lean into it, okay? And the reason I recommend leaning into it is because during the Q&A, so first of all, you want to have a set play of what it is what you're going to talk about, the key principles, right? That's obvious. But then what you also want to do when you do the Q&A, it really gives people a chance to touch base with you. It's kind of like television. So television is a one-way medium, right? Why is social media so much more prevalent in terms of interactivity and people on it all the time? Like, why aren't we scrolling through our television every day, all the time? Part of the reason is because it's a two-way social media. It's a two-way medium, right? I post something, you're able to look at it, you can comment on it, you post the comment, then you post something, then I can look at it. It's a two-way medium. So if we take that same concept and apply it to a presentation, Q&A is the first time really where it's a two-way medium. That's why you see conference planners asking, or at least they ask me on the things that I fill out, how interactive is your presentation, right? Like, how is this, how is that? Because they're trying to figure out if it's a two-way medium, because that's what people want nowadays, and that's totally fine. So what I recommend is you give it to them. Hang out on Q&A, okay? And here's what you do. You say, hey, listen, I'm gonna open it up for some Q&A now. I have one more point at the end I'm gonna make, but right now I'm gonna open up for some Q&A. And, we've covered a few things. We've covered this, this, and this. So give them a prompt. Don't just go right into Q&A. Excuse me, let them know that it's coming up, and then give them a prompt. We're going to, we've talked about this, this, and this. And here's the term that I use. What can I talk about more fully? Or what can I talk about more? What can I explain a little bit better? Or what can I get into a little bit more? Don't necessarily say, what questions can I ask? You can bring that up. You can say, all right, so what I'll do is, we can talk about some different questions. And if you have some things, that's obviously no problem. But what can I explain more fully? We've talked about this, or maybe there's some other points that you guys want to bring up. Just like that, okay? Just like that is how I do it. And then what you do is you wait. You just wait, okay? You don't rush, you don't leave, because it'll be like about 5 seconds where it's gonna feel like 5 minutes, but it'll be about 5 seconds where you're gonna think no one's gonna ask you a question. And you just wait. By your body language, what you're telling them is, we're gonna wait until someone asks a question. I actually do the old kind of like the golf stance. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna try so you can see it, hang on. So like, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see it? So I'll just go like this. I have my hand on my hip, right? I'll just have my hand on my hip. And like if I'm putting, when I'm golfing, I just kind of I cross my feet over. I don't know if you can see that. These are new shoes, by the way. Can you see those? Yeah, new shoes. Anyway, I cross my feet over and I just kind of relax. And I'm just like, and I give the impression, which is true, that I'm not leaving until a question, let me turn you back around, until a question is asked. Okay, so when you do that, you wait a few seconds, and if you have to, you say, okay, so I've done everything perfectly. There's no questions, right? Like you kind of play it up a little bit. And then they will ask you a question. And now you're into the interactivity. Now you're showing the audience, hey, listen, this guy knows his stuff. Now you're giving them a chance to have some fun. Now you're giving them a chance to connect. Brian, why are you making such a big deal about all of this? Because it will then reflect into them wanting to talk to you more, which will then reflect into you getting more paying clients, or at least having an opportunity to getting more paid clients, okay? And that's the reason why we do that. So a quick tip, like I said, is Q&A, all right? And we broke that down into 2 things. We said hang out in the Q&A more, lean into it, and then have it about 2/3 of the way through. I am telling you, that is a winning play when it comes to better monetizing your speaking activities. And speaking of better monetizing and winning plays, why don't you swing on by our mastermind? We've got a mastermind that's called Speak to Earn. Like I said, we hold that we held that on the second Wednesday, on a monthly basis. It's virtual. It's a really, really good time. I think you guys would like it. You're more than welcome to come as my guest. We do the initial meeting, goes like where we do a round the room introductions, then we do some education from yours truly. We do an open forum where I'll talk, the people will talk about what I just talked about education wise. We'll then break you out into some one-on-one networking. We put you in little breakout rooms. We come back, we do the mastermind, then we wrap up with ask and acknowledge. It's really, really good. You're more than welcome to come as my guest. Just hit me up, either shoot me a line, send me an email, leave a comment, whatever the case may be, and we'll get that going for you. All right, but in the meantime, my name is Brian Hilliard saying so long, take care, and thanks so much for your time.